Hey everyone. Okay, so a normal working day while I was leaving for work, I had quite a regular conversation with my mom on what time will you be home? To which my answer, like usual, was no idea, mom. Which got me thinking how many of you think of doing their jobs as a part of your day? We grow up with an idea that our career choices should be something that we can sustain on. It's always the conventional career choices that you hear while growing up. Why do we not hear much about the creative fields while growing up? Why is creativity always toned down to being a part of your hobbies? That even taking arts is looked down upon, even though there are no subjects related to the literal term. I currently work as a fashion stylist and a fashion blogger, and both my fields fall under fashion, and it definitely doesn't come under conventional career choices that one would expect from an individual. As these fields do not have cut-to-cut work timings, mostly entrepreneurs working with creativity, and they don't follow corporate rules and so on. And we as women in this society are most often asked to take up jobs that don't consume most of our time so that we can spend rest of our times at home, and which is why I would say that my field definitely falls under the unconventional radar. So looking through my lens back to when I was in school, if you like drawing, you could take it up as a hobby or become a teacher because it's a conventional and a secure job that ends within a time frame. But nobody encourages you to become an artist. Nobody tells you to draw on canvases and sell your art. Because as per society standards, being creative is a time-consuming process and is highly ambitious for a 13-year-old girl. Just like one loved cooking, dancing, playing football, etc., I had my eye on fashion. But due to the difference in the perspectives in my family, playing dress up was fashion and nothing more than that. In school, during the career fair guidance, only 2 career choices were mentioned below the creative fields, that were interior designing and fashion designing. That too came after a huge list of corporates, teaching, humanities, etc. So why do we not talk about the workspaces in the fashion industry, the film industry, the entire entertainment industry? Where are all those opportunities? Society fails to give dreams to the new generations because only the conventional career choices are discussed and repeatedly talked about. I was told that graduation under science, arts, or commerce is so important that any other degree apart from these 3 does not come under graduation. So if I wanted to do something in fashion, I had to complete my graduation degree and then do what I like. Why? It's quite funny because at least if you fail in your unconventional career choice, at least you can take up a job that you can get after your graduation. Which makes me think that creative fields are not given enough validation. And here we discourage taking risks, and we often tend to go around options that are very secure and known to us. So right now the dress that I'm wearing represents my journey of how I've grown throughout the years. I started making my own garments based on the knowledge that I received over the years via online tutorials and my mom's stitching ideas, obviously. And I started making my own garments as an escape from reality, I would say, because the idea of learning a new technique, stitching, drafting would get me so engrossed. My introduction to the fashion world would be a piece of waste fabric and a stitching machine, and basically that is where I began my whole journey into the fashion world, from making dresses for my Barbies to having the confidence of making dresses for myself. Since fashion designing was the only term I knew back then, I started telling everyone that I wanted to become a designer, and I started making these amateur sketches behind my school notebooks. And as I was exploring more about the fashion world, I realized that fashion had more to it than just designing, and this is where my mind opened up to the whole concept of fashion blogging. Although I put my love for creating new clothes as a part of my life into use when I began my sustainable business during college. So again, a 19-year-old me with no fashion background just started this, trusted my own skills of online tutorials and my mom's stitching knowledge. My view here is you don't really need a degree to achieve something. If you have the skills, the ability, and the passion to excel in it, you're good to go. And then you keep learning new things and grow with the experience you get in that particular field. There is no right or wrong time to start something. If you're scared to start something, always remember that risk is worth taking. What is the worst thing that can happen to you if you fail in it? You're going to learn a lesson and then it's going to lead you somewhere. So you're definitely learning something out of it. So, as I said, we lack encouragement to take risks and work out of the box because we are so instilled in the ideas revolving around a secure future that we completely forget about enjoying the present. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have to build a secure future. I mean, why not enjoy what you do today and still think that 5 years down the line, I'm going to own this? I mean, all it takes is a little bit of trust in yourself, a little risky decisions, and third one, most important, ignoring the negative criticism that you get from society. These three, and this is it. You have got the starter kit to achieve your dream goal, and the love and support is going to come through slow and steady. So the second layer of my blazer represents how strong and powerful I have been throughout these years, because this one layer covers up for each time that someone has told me how my job is not women friendly. And if I keep layering up for that each moment, I would definitely look like Joey by now, for sure. Society's expectations to do these so-called women-friendly jobs have demolished so many dreams over the years. I mean, while I was growing up, I was told to choose a 9 to 5 job because after you get married, you have to take care of the house, you have to take care of the family, the kids, and so on. But nobody tells you that you're allowed to do what you want. Find happiness in whatever job you do. Start taking your interests and abilities seriously and work on them. I kept challenging these stereotypes that society had built around over the years since I was a kid, and making my way through a totally unexpected field was not quite a surprise to everyone around me. So my accessories here would represent my family, because just like any other outfit, or my outfit would be incomplete without my accessories, my journey or my whole story wouldn't be the same without my family. My whole story with my family has ups and downs, considering the generation gaps and difficulties for them to understand my perspective. A different career choice had to be explained to them. So, like every other student, I was also studying for my psychology board exams, and that was around when I started my whole fashion journey, my fashion blogging journey back in 2016. I started taking my outfit pictures, doing concept shoots, collaborating with photographers, posting it on Instagram. But whatever I was doing just had the word fashion in it, was looked upon as taking images and posting, and my parents almost thought I was into modeling, and that's another career choice that wasn't approved of from where I have grown up. And they came to a conclusion that I was a rebel kid, because yes, I was. And I continued doing it as a side hobby while pursuing my bachelor's of arts in sociology, and here I was kind of making me and my family happy at the same time by doing both the things simultaneously. Sociology helped me open up my eyes to a completely different perspective and how everything functioned, and it made me really question about how the society alters and influences individual behaviors. It has helped me to observe a lot in the fashion field that I work in today about how our cultures and traditions influences and alters individual behaviors. Even fashion is narrowed down to appropriate and inappropriate wear based on cultures and traditions. For example, a sari and a crop top. You already know the drill. So yeah, every day I make sure that an individual's choice of clothing does not define their character, because they are two different things and shouldn't be affected by anybody. So moving on, as I was closer to my convocation, everyone around me were talking about doing masters, getting placements, applying to well-known colleges, and so on. And me, I was looking up on how to convince your parents to follow your dreams, because I had decided that I wanted to do fashion blogging full time and make that as my career. So a quick story about a very important day while I was pursuing my full-time fashion blogging, a very interesting one. I had to go for an event, and I had no company, and I had never been solo for any event or anything. And this was a blogging event, and with a lot of trust in myself, I decided to go for it. Thanks to this effort, I was able to make so many contacts, meet so many bloggers that mean like a family to me today. And I had never socialized so much in this field that I did that day. And that happened because of my initiative. And this decision that I made to go for an event solo was a turning point in my life, because if I wouldn't have made those contacts, I wouldn't have gotten into the fashion styling industry that I am currently in. I feel like I'm way out of the expectations from the community's ideal choices, because fashion styling, again, nobody knew what that was. So the most simple and the basic way that I could explain it to my parents and anyone around me who asked me was, you see those celebrities, you see those daily soaps, movies, advertisements, TVCs, etc. You think they dress themselves up? I say like, no, because they have fashion stylists, they have makeup artists, they have hairstylists, etc. I tell them that I'm a stylist who curates looks as per the storylines or the themes and so on, work with the fashion brands and designers. And all they conclude is, oh, so you dress people up, so you're a fashion designer. This is where we lack the awareness about fields apart from the conventional ones. My whole point here is there are so many segments in each field that we work in. So why do we narrow it down to that one particular field that we are expected to do from the society? So the color palette of my outfit today would represent my work life. It's neutral coloring. It's the same zone that I have to keep my mind while working through all four of my creative spaces. My work life would be me shifting through all four of my creative zones, that is styling, blogging, and two of my other businesses, and manage all of them on an hourly or a daily basis. Every second is challenging and forces me to be creative. And that's what makes me wake up every day in the morning, and it gives me that adrenaline rush that everyone knows about it. There are a few days where my creativity block takes place, but that's when I take a break and make sure I try and get inspired and motivated by the things around me. My whole point here is that if you start loving a specific thing or a specific routine, you should start doing it more often and not just keep it as a hobby. I mean, you should start finding your escape in it, start finding your happiness in what you work around with. You should be pursuing your career for yourself, because I believe that a career choice is not just for the sake of sustainability. Just like all these different individual pieces from my outfit go together and create a look, my journey of me doing different creative things somehow connected, and it has formed this mini world that I absolutely love and adore. And the amount of connectivity in my journey makes me realize that you might be doing a job that you absolutely don't like, but it will definitely lead you somewhere. In my case, one thing kept leading to another, and there was no specific start or no particular right or wrong time to commence. I just started. I trusted myself. I believed in my journey, and I started in 2016 as a person who wrote fashion DIY blogs on my website. And then I learned about sustainability, where I came up with my whole business plan. And later, while blogging events were happening at the same time, I started going for these events, I made contacts, and that landed me here today in the styling industry. And that is how it all makes sense. It is connected now. It's funny how I didn't know about the field of styling when I started out as a blogger, but eventually it landed me where I found myself. We as individuals try and wait for the opportunities to come, but we forget that we live in a space where we need to create these opportunities by taking risks. Fashion as a career is not considered the ideal choice for a woman. The questions that followed when I told that I wanted to pursue fashion styling was, is it safe? Is it worth it? What time will you be home? What are the work timings like? Will it be late? And how will you come home late, and how will this work out in the future when you have a family or you start thinking of family in the future? And the major question was, Loka kai mantil. In literal terms, that is, what will people say? So my question here is, so what? I love what I do. I go to bed happy. I wake up every day and work on my creativity. I am building a life that I'm so proud of. So does it really matter of what will people say? We live in a space where we have to keep altering what we do and what we think so that we fit in and escape from the constant fear of what will people say. If we don't overcome this fear, I really doubt that a girl like me in the next 10 years will still be told to not take up any creative career choices. We really need to teach ourselves and change the mindsets of how much more can be done in careers. So if you're a newbie figuring your way out in this world filled with tons of ideas, and you don't have a degree in what you want to pursue, but you have the ability, the passion, and the skills, then start making your research game strong. Start applying for internships, start emailing your CVs, make contacts, because you never know where you'll get a call back from. But always remember, like, don't forget why you ever started, because if you fail, you have to stand up and redo it all over again. So you need to know why you started. You need the reason. I'm 22 and I started pretty much when I was a teen. But hey, here I am today. Worked with so many brands around my blogging time for around like 5 years now, and my fashion styling industry for 2 years, and I still continue to create digital content revolving around beauty and fashion for my followers, and it gives me immense joy to do that. To everyone who made it to the end, start taking risks, start exploring your interests and your abilities. There's no right or wrong time to start anything that you want. Start taking your hobby seriously. Start making careers out of it. Grow in it, and you'll know what that happiness feels like. There will be struggles, and I feel that's going to be everywhere, and you have to learn to cope with it. I don't know where my life is going to take me, but I am so happy where I am today, and I'm really grateful and thankful for everyone who supported me throughout my journey, and I will continue to work with my creativity for as long as I can. So yeah, here it is. I'm Lorraine Gonzalves, and thank you for being a part of my roller coaster ride. Thank you.